Have you ever achieved a goal you had been chasing for many years, only to feel a strange emptiness the moment you reached it? No excitement, no relief. Just a quiet pause that's hard to put into words. In a distant village, there lived a merchant named Marcus. In the eyes of others, he had everything. His house was filled with gold. Treasure chests lined the walls. Rare items from many places were displayed as symbols of success. People bowed when he passed by. They whispered his name with respect, sometimes with envy. But when the doors closed, Marcus felt nothing. Every morning, he counted his gold. Every evening, he locked the doors. He trusted no one. He smiled at no one. At night, he lay on his soft bed, staring at the ceiling. His heart felt heavy, cold, and silent. Marcus told himself this was normal. Wealth always came with caution. Success always required sacrifice. And if he still felt empty, it only meant he hadn't reached the next level yet. One more deal, one more treasure, one more pile of gold. Then everything would be fine. Years passed, his wealth grew. His habits became rigid, and the emptiness inside him became clearer than ever. Marcus never doubted it. He believed this was simply the price of success. After all, he had what everyone wanted. And if that reward was emptiness, then emptiness must be the final prize. At least, that's what he believed. The emptiness did not disappear. It stayed with Marcus, quiet and heavy, like a sealed room with no windows. He told himself that successful people all lived this way, cautious, closed off, and alone. Then one afternoon, there was a knock at the door. Standing before Marcus was an old traveler, dressed simply, carrying a worn bag. His face showed the marks of time, but his eyes were strangely calm. He looked at Marcus without envy, without fear, and simply smiled. "I hear you are the richest man in the village," the old man said. Marcus lifted his chin. "That's right." The traveler nodded slowly. "I once knew a man who thought the same. He had mountains of gold, but when he died, no one spoke his name again." The words unsettled Marcus. "What do you want?" he asked. "I want to show you something," the old man replied. "A kind of wealth that does not fade." Marcus laughed. He believed he had seen every treasure worth having. But when the old man pulled out an ancient map and spoke of endless riches, something stirred inside him. Not hope, not joy, but curiosity. The price was simple: his most precious gem, and a journey made on his own 2 feet. That night, Marcus stared at the ceiling once again. But this time, the silence felt different. If you have ever felt that same quiet emptiness, stay with this story. The journey is only just beginning. They left the village early in the morning. Marcus carried a heavy bag of coins, so familiar that it made him feel safe. After just 1 hour of walking, he began to complain. The road was dusty. His shoes hurt. His back ached. He couldn't understand why a journey to treasure couldn't be done by carriage. The traveler said only one thing: this path must be walked. By the 3rd day, they reached a wide, fast-moving river. There was no bridge. The water was cold and deep. Marcus stopped. He looked at the bag on his shoulder, then at the water ahead. "I'll get wet. This bag will be very heavy," he said. "Then leave it behind," the traveler replied, and stepped into the river. Marcus hesitated. But when he saw the man already halfway across, he had no choice. He followed. The water was freezing, pulling at his legs, and in the middle of the river, the strap slipped from his shoulder. Coins spilled out, flashing for a moment, then disappearing. My money, Marcus shouted. Keep moving, the traveler's voice called back. When Marcus reached the other side, he was shaking, angry, and empty. But in that moment, something very small appeared. He was breathing hard. His heart was pounding. He realized he was alive. If you have ever lost the thing you held on to the most, keep listening. This is only the beginning. After the river, Marcus walked more slowly. The bag on his shoulder felt much lighter, but the feeling in his chest grew heavier. He no longer complained. He no longer asked when they would arrive. He simply walked in silence, following the sound of the traveler's footsteps on the dry dirt road. As evening fell, they stopped at a small village. The houses were low, with cracked walls and patched roofs. There were no tall gates, no heavy locks. Marcus looked around and saw nothing worth guarding. A family invited them in for dinner. Marcus was about to refuse. He was used to rich meals, used to sitting alone at a table filled with food. But the traveler sat down on the dirt floor and accepted a simple bowl of soup as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Marcus hesitated, then sat down as well, and the meal was only coarse bread and thin soup. No meat, no spices. Yet the small house was full of laughter. The father told stories. The mother listened. The children ran around, laughing under the dim light. Marcus watched them and felt something unfamiliar. You have very little, he said slowly. How can you still be so happy? The father answered gently. We have each other. We have today. Marcus looked down at his bowl of soup. He ate more slowly, and for the first time in many years, he did not feel in a hurry. The days that followed passed slowly. They walked over low hills, crossed wide valleys, and slept under an open sky. Marcus began to notice things he had never paid attention to before. The color of the sky changed with each hour. The wind smelled different in the morning and in the afternoon. The ground beneath his feet was no longer just an obstacle, but something that supported every step. One evening, they sat by a small fire. Marcus looked down at his hands. His skin was darker. There were thin scratches. His nails were dirty with soil. The clothes that had once been tailored for him were now worn and torn. But strangely, he did not feel poor. He felt present. He looked toward the horizon as the sun set. Orange, pink, purple. Colors he had missed for years, hidden behind thick walls. A very gentle feeling appeared, like a small crack in his chest. Not pain, just opening. How much longer until we reach the treasure? Marcus asked, his voice no longer rushed. The traveler smiled. Very soon. Marcus did not ask anything else. For the first time, he did not need an answer. If you have ever felt yourself slow down, just to breathe and look at the sky, comment 1. The next morning, they reached the foot of a mountain. The path grew narrower, then disappeared into rock and mist. The traveler stopped before a dark cave, so narrow that Marcus had to lower his head to enter. Inside, it was cold and silent. The traveler lit a small lamp, its trembling light showing the way. The cave opened into a wide chamber. Marcus stopped. He waited for gold. He waited for treasure. He waited for something worthy of all that had been lost. But in the center of the cave, there was only one thing. A mirror, an old wooden frame, a dull surface, no decoration, no shining light. The traveler spoke softly. Look into it. Marcus stepped closer. He saw himself, but not the man he believed he was. A tired face, Empty eyes, a smile that had forgotten how to appear, as if time itself had cracked across that face. "Who is this?" Marcus whispered. "The man you once were," the traveler replied. "The man who owned everything, but never truly lived." Marcus stepped back. Tears appeared, sudden and silent. He realized the thing he had always been avoiding was not poverty, but the truth. Marcus stood alone in the cave. The small lamp was still burning, but the traveler had disappeared, as if he had never existed. Before him, the mirror remained silent. Marcus looked one last time, then turned away. He carried nothing with him except the lamp and a feeling that was heavy and light at the same time. The road back was longer than he expected. But this time, Marcus was not in a hurry. He walked slowly, rested when he was tired, and talked when he met people. In one village, he helped a farmer fix a fence. In another, he sat by a fire, listening to old stories told in the trembling voice of the elderly. No one bowed to him. No one knew who he used to be. And that no longer bothered him. When he returned home, Marcus looked at the familiar chests of gold. They were still there, cold and silent, and he did not hate them, but he no longer needed them as before. Marcus sold most of his wealth and kept only enough. With the rest, he chose to travel, to go farther, to stay longer, to live. Many years later, when his hair had turned gray, someone asked if he was rich. Marcus smiled. "I have nothing in my pockets," he said, "but I have a whole life to remember." And this time, he knew he was telling the truth. The story of Marcus does not say that money is wrong. It only reminds us of something simpler. What we own can protect us from the cold, but it cannot warm the heart. Marcus once believed that wealth meant collecting, holding on tightly, locking everything away. But when he let go, he realized he felt lighter. When he lost the thing he clung to the most, he finally felt alive. Not because he became poorer, but because for the first time, he was fully present in each moment. Simple meals, dusty roads, brief conversations with strangers. None of these were kept in gold chests, but they stayed in his memory, in the way he looked at the world, in the way he looked at himself. We often ask, "Do I have enough?" We rarely ask, "Have I lived enough?" Material things bring comfort, but experiences bring change. When objects can be lost, memories cannot. What we live through stays with us, quietly shaping who we become. If there is one thing to carry with you after this story, it is that question. Are you building a storage room, or are you building a life? The answer does not need to be rushed. It only needs to be honest.